Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Life in Between. Excited to share a quick episode with you today. I was listening to a podcast this last week called Typology. It's all about the Enneagram. And the host talked about these, he's a licensed therapist, and he talked about these 5 questions that he asks people when they feel off. Maybe they're coming in for counseling or life's kind of feeling a little bit disjointed and off. And he always asks them these 5 questions. And I thought the 5 questions were great. So hang on, maybe grab a pen, write these questions down. Let's jump into the questions. Question number 1. When was the last time you ate? When was the last time you ate something? Do you have one of those friends, in our culture that we call it hangry? You know, you can start to tell when they haven't had food for a while because they start to get kind of angry about everything in life, like meaningless things. They're kind of angry about it. We call it hangry. When was the last time you ate? Are you eating enough? A lot of people try to put themselves into a calorie deficit, sometimes for healthy reasons to try to drop some pounds and that kind of thing. And all of that's great, but sometimes you're actually not eating enough calories to sustain the amount of energy you're expending in your job, at home, all of those things. And then not only just kind of a follow-up question, this isn't one of the 5, but a follow-up question to when was the last time you ate is, what are you eating? Is it foods that are just full of sugar because it might make you feel great for 30 minutes, but then there's kind of this crash. And so when was the last time that you ate? The second question, and this is a big one. I feel like they're all big ones, but this is a big one. How much water are you drinking? Like legitimately think about how much water you're drinking in a day. You'd be surprised how little water people drink. I heard a statistic, and I don't know the official number, but it was in the double digits. And it was people who go into the emergency room. Again, let's say 20% of the people that go into the emergency room, the only thing that's wrong with them is they're dehydrated. They haven't had enough water. So they hook them up to a sodium chloride bag, and they're okay. Like they move on. They come in, they think they have heart issues and they think something's happening. It turns out they're just dehydrated. They're not drinking enough water. Yes, there is water in coffee, okay, but you cannot survive on coffee alone. I know that's like super unpopular opinion, but it can't happen. You gotta have water. I usually try to drink over 100 ounces a day. They say about half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, about 100 ounces. So I usually try to drink between 100 and 120 ounces of water a day. To answer the question, I know that's in your mind. Yes, you will go to the bathroom a lot, especially when you first start drinking water until your body kind of adapts. There's times before 10 a.m. I've gone to the bathroom like 6 times. People think you're a little bit crazy. But you know what? You feel better. Your body needs water. It needs H2O to exist and to function. So when was the last time you ate? How much water are you drinking? The third question, when was the last time you exercised? Now, I have a type of exercising that I like to do that I happen to think works pretty well. But like, that's not the point. The point is this. When was the last time you moved? When was the last time you got your blood pumping and flowing and you got your heart working? You increased your heart rate. Maybe it's just like a quick walk in the morning, 30 minutes of, not just kind of a leisurely walk, but maybe you're kind of walking with a little bit of pace, and maybe it's a jog, maybe it's lifting something, maybe it's at lunchtime going, you know what, I'm going to do 10 push-ups, I'm going to do 10 sit-ups, I'm going to do 10 burpees, I'm going to do 3 rounds of that at lunchtime. You got to do something. I can tell when I haven't worked out. I don't miss a ton of days with working out. I intentionally take Sunday off usually and just try to like go for a walk or something like that. Just kind of have an active rest day. But when I first took the job I have now and we moved here, I didn't have a gym to go to. The gym that was opening that we were signing up for, they weren't opened yet. And I didn't work out for a month. And I felt awful. Like everything felt off about life. Mentally, physically, emotionally, like it was a struggle. Sometimes if things are overwhelming, sometimes it's kind of pressing the pause button and just going, you know what, I'm going to go for a 20-minute run, or I'm going to hop on the rower for 15 minutes. And just trying to create a rhythm of movement. And I'm not saying this has to be like an everyday thing. Again, maybe it's 3 days a week, 15 minutes a day. Like everybody can make that time. 45 minutes in a week is doable. And you may find as you start that, you may go, you know what? I need another day of this. I really enjoy this. This helps me clear my mind. When was the last time you ate? How much water are you drinking? When was the last time you exercised? The fourth question. This is one I hadn't really thought. I mean, I guess I kind of have, but not as much thought as I probably should have when it comes to this. But how much time have you spent on technology? Obviously, we live in a world we can't just not use technology. Like, it's just probably not going to happen unless you're over 80 years old. Like, we're just so dependent on technology. But how much are you using? You finding yourself using it all day at work, and then you coming home and you're kind of sitting on the couch and you got your phone or you're laying in bed. And listen, this is one of those that I'm probably guilty of more than the rest of them. Like, I've kind of developed some rhythms around the rest of these questions, and I don't hit them all 100% all the time, but this is one that it's like it just kind of goes off the radar. It gets in the peripheral. I don't really think about it sometimes. And the next thing you know, you're going like, okay, I looked at a computer screen all day at work, and then in the evening, I'm looking at my phone, and then I'm laying in bed looking at my workout for the next morning. How much time do you spend on technology? Maybe in the comment section. Moment of honesty, okay? There will be no judgment in the comments. If there's judgment, I'm just going to delete it. How much time do you spend on average on technology a day? Like, think through your day. Is it 2 hours? Is it 3 hours? Is it 10 hours? Okay. So in those moments where you feel off and you feel disjointed, ask yourself, when was the last time you ate? How much water have you drank? When was the last time you exercised? And how much time have you spent on technology? This last one it's as big as the water drinking one, because it's one that we kind of make fun of people for. But it's this question: how much sleep have you gotten in the last 3 nights? Look at your last 3 nights. You're feeling off, something's not right. Look back at your last 3 nights and go, how much sleep have I gotten? Oh, I've gotten only 15 hours of sleep in 3 days. That's not enough. It's just not. A statistic that they shared was, if you go 6 nights, is it 6 nights? Let's just say 6 nights. If you go a week with only 6 hours of sleep every night, you have the cognitive ability of somebody who is legally drunk. Think about that. Like, do you get 6 or less hours of sleep every night? And think about what that's doing to our cognitive function. This is one thing my wife and I, we try to really get a good amount of sleep because we have a lot going on. Like, life is too important to not get good sleep. And you go, well, I don't have time to sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That phrase, I'll sleep when I'm dead, it's just an excuse to not find a way to sleep. I get up at 5 a.m. Sometimes earlier, sometimes a little bit later, but almost every day I get up at 5 a.m. If I'm going to get up at 5 a.m., I can't go to bed at like midnight every night and get 5 hours of sleep and expect to have a good workout, expect to have a good day at work, expect to love my wife well, expect to love my kids well. I'm going to be short. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to have a temper. I'm going to be impatient. Like, all of these things, it's going to happen. So maybe for a week, test it. Go, you know what? I'm going to try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night for 1 week. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I know it seems like overkill, all right? But you will begin to feel better. And people go, well, you're just used to waking up at 5 a.m. and so it's no big deal. I can't wake up at that time. You never, I'm not convinced anybody wakes up in the morning, regardless of what time you wake up, and they go, oh, I feel so great. Every morning I wake up at 5 and I'm like, I'm tired. It's 5 a.m. I'm tired. But I try to get my feet on the floor as fast as I can. I go to the bathroom every single morning. I get dressed, I get out the door, and over the next 10, 15 minutes, I kind of wake up. So ask yourself these questions. When was the last time you ate? How much water are you drinking? When was the last time you exercised? How much technology are you using? And how much sleep have you gotten? In the comment section, just comment. Which one of these, just be honest, which one of these do you suck at? right? Which one of these do you struggle with the most? Which one of these do you do well? Have you changed any of these and you've seen an improvement? I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comments. And again, so thankful you guys are watching and hanging out with me. If you would, just like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel, pass this along to somebody who needs it. Life in Between is all about what happens for me from Sunday to Sunday, because there's a lot of life in between there. And I just want to have a way to connect with you guys and maybe share some thoughts swirling around in my head. All right. Maybe it's helpful. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is just for me. That's cool too. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And then I hope your weekend is killer. And hopefully we'll see you next week. All right. Have a good one.